Hello, I'm Coffee Kevin, and I have an early story from the annals of the Coffee Companion. This tale is called Coffee Zodiac, Signs of a Coffee Drinker. Now, I read this article in my second issue. I got the idea while a guest on the Ed Curran WGN radio program. Ed invited me on one evening with another guest, a coffee psychic. There was an embarrassing moment on the show when the psychic took phone calls. A friend of mine had phoned in and was apparently surprised that he was put on the air with the psychic, not me, and then proceeded to ask about his and my relationship. After a few uncomfortable glances in the studio, the psychic counseled him to focus instead on what he could do to improve his own life. I can't testify to her psychic powers, but I considered her wisdom and diplomacy state of the art. It was a fun show and got me thinking of what a cup of coffee might say about someone's personality. So here goes. Coffee Zodiac, signs of a coffee drinker. What's your personality? What kind of coffee are you? Why not? After all, people have typed each other using less science. I remember the myth that women smoked because, well, you've heard that before too, I'm sure. I always thought the cigarette companies must have made that up. Here are a few possibilities related to coffee. By growing region. Sumatra, a deep-thinking, complex personality, tends to brood. Colombia, bright, colorful, even if a little superficial at times. All things to all people. Kenya, witty, full of energy and life, perhaps a little acid-tongued. Brazil, straightforward, if a little subdued, not so colorful, but reliable and comforting. Puerto Rico, new and dynamic, optimistic. Hawaii, inclined to be playful, spiritualistic rather than logical. By cup type, mugs, big, friendly, relaxed. Porcelain china, formal and materialistic. Plain china, conversational and intellectual. Styrofoam, tasteless and sloppy. Sorry, I couldn't resist. By brewing method, percolator, old-fashioned, conservative. Electric drip, modern and flexible, accepts change. Vacuum maker, science and fantasy lover, logical but free-spirited. Flip drip, romantic and spontaneous. A high proportion of these coffees are never gotten to because some new distraction came up. Manual drip, intellectual and conversational, likely to engage in discussions. A high percentage of these people end up drinking cold coffee. French press, artistic, style-conscious, likely to arrange and design everything in their and your life. Open pan, creative genius, nonconformist. These are the ones whose files are bulging in the FBI storage warehouse. By cup preparation, black, tough, straight-talking, no nonsense. Cream only, sensual, soft, cuddly. Cream and sugar, stable, reassuring. Extra cream and sugar, childlike, innocent. Extra cream and extra sugar, compulsive, entrepreneurial. Do these apply to you or to people you've shared a cup with? Try and see. It's a great party game, or at least it's a way to make the time pleasant if your significant other is making a phone call while you wait in a restaurant. I really enjoyed writing these early articles. I was determined to keep the Coffee Companion authoritative and honest, if opinionated, but uncorrupted. I think at some loss of income, I've kept my word. Now, the other day we did a Chemex, and I realized in the middle of it as I was reading, you know what? This is the Chemex. that was the subject of, if not the first review, it was certainly the subject of Dr. Peter Schlimbaum's coffee maker that he gave to and first sold to Macy's, the one that sold out in Macy's. This is the pint, the Chemex pint. And as you can see, let me show you a comparison here. See, one thing that's interesting is they're both approximately the same height. Now, that's quite brilliant, by the way, and I don't know if it occurs to anyone but me, but the idea is when you make smaller batches with drip, you want to approximate the same length that the water has to travel through the ground, since, as we said the other day, it's gravity's pulling the water through the grounds. That has a lot to do with the contact time, particularly in the Chemex, where the filter is really the main controller of that, not the grind. Same thing, the contact time will be very close because it's the same distance. Very brilliant on Dr. Schlimbaum's part, because I've met people who design coffee makers that didn't seem to realize that, and when I asked them the question, well, how long does it take to make 8 cups? And then they tell me it's 6 minutes. And then I say, well, how long is it to make 4 cups? And they'll say, well, it's 6 minutes. I'm like, well, it can't be, because you're only getting, the portion of the distance. It's and it's not controlled by the filter. So it's actually going to be much shorter. That's one thing that's really nice about this. So anyway, what coffee am I using? I'm using a Sumatran coffee from Orange Daily Roast, and this is a great coffee. I've had this coffee, and I keep it in the coffee freshness system, which is a product I'm very fond of that can actually keep your coffee fresh. So I really, someday, it's a brilliant concept that the public needs to discover. Okay. Let's make some coffee. I've got the coffee warmed up, the water warmed up to 208 degrees, and I've got had it here. I'm sure you've heard it off and on, and we're going to put this in. I've got, let's see, how many grams? 30 grams of coffee. Actually, it's 33 grams of coffee, and I'm going to end up putting in around 400 grams of water. So let's see this. I'm going to make a pint, so it all works out in the end. Watch what I do, not what I say. It's the same thing I used to tell my children. Okay, here we go, and let's set the timer. And you can see that, wow, it's really a nice, there we go. Put about 80 grams in here. And let's see what the temperature is right now. What can you see that in the wide shot, Pat? The grams, the temperature. 189. That's pretty good, actually. That's pretty good. I think it dropped a few degrees, but that's about right. 190 would be about right for this. For the initial pour, the coffee's probably relatively cool. When it hits it, and then we're going to let this go almost a minute, and then we'll, I'd say a minute, and then we'll pour some more water in here. Let's make sure that we keep our temperature nice and hot. Oh, the incense is beautiful here. Let's see what we can do. There we go. Okay. Now I always circular. Why do I do that? Because same reason that your coffee maker, your automatic drip maker should be doing that. Should be getting all the grounds wet. All right, and then we've got this. We're pouring a little more in here. And there we go. Getting ourselves a little bit of heat on the water just to keep it up there. You can hear the dripping through here, and we are getting a nice extraction. The grounds are now settling. You could see before, I'm sure, that they were foaming up. And I saw that shot. And then you can hear when it's kind of done, and then you want to put some more water on it is really the system here. It's quite simple. Okay. And then there we are. All right. And then we are getting to be about 3 minutes in the extraction time, contact extraction time. Okay, and then I'm going to get ready to take another temperature test, and then let's throw it in here. Okay, and then, all right, and let's see, it is 193, 94. I'm actually looking off to the side because I can see a monitor over there. Okay, that's nice. We're getting a nice extraction. It's a little softer, and that's partly what I consider a strength of the Chemex is it doesn't let you over extract and generate bitterness. It errs on softness. In fact, there are some packages of old Chemex filters that will talk about 190 as their suggested brewing temperature. And then we are okay, and we're getting there. We are a little bit more here. And all right. Okay. And the goal of this is to make a perfect pint, and therefore everybody gets one beautiful up to 8 ounces of coffee. And that's, to me, a perfect 2-cup maker if someone comes over, and even if they like a little more, I actually like a little less. My cup size is around 5 ounces. But there we go, and I'm going to pour a little bit more there. That's it, and that's our, you can see you're right at the tip of the filter in here. There we go. The tip is just inside there, but really it's just, I'm going to pull it up just so you can tell. It's not, yeah, it's really right on the, and that is the perfect pint right there. Oh, it looks delicious, doesn't it? Well, let me tell you, it tastes delicious. So here we go. And it's we made it in 6 minutes. That is perfect for a drip. And I can't believe I did that fast. I did. Okay, beautiful. And then we are going to, I will pour my cup first. And I noticed that I left Pat's cup upstairs. Well, I'll pour that for her in just a moment. But I will do the on-air tasting. I noticed I haven't had a taste on camera in a couple of days, and I missed that. I love to give it a nice smell. Let's measure what the temperature is at the end here. Let's check that out. And it is 140, 146, 47, 140. It's perfect. It's perfect drinking temperature. One of the things I really like about the Chemex, and if you don't put anything in it, you can still have your cup right away. No damage to your throat, which is important to take care of yourself. You can live to be a very old coffee drinker. Oh, wow, that's delicious. I'm inclined to say that my comments still hold about the Sumatra coffee. Let's talk about CoffeeCon for a second. CoffeeCon is a live and in-person coffee companion. Our next event is in the Midwest this coming October. It'll be here in the Chicago area. I'll announce tickets when they go on sale. Also, should you be in the coffee business, know that it's a great way to connect with an audience of people who love coffee. And keep in mind our patron site. And I hope all is well with you. I'm Coffee Kevin. Be safe and see you soon. Isn't this a beautiful coffee maker?